Everybody, and welcome to Kids Talk. Today, I'm going to show you the Fred Liver attack, which is one of the most attacking games for white in the opening. So without further ado, let's get started. So the Fred Liver attack starts with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and then bishop to c4. This is the Italian game. So from here, the most common move that your opponent can play is knight to f6. If he plays this, then now you have to play knight g5, double attacking the weakest square of f7. From here, black has two options. He can either defend this pawn, or he can block your bishop from attacking the pawn. Since defending is just not possible, you'll have to cut off your bishop from attacking the pawn, hence playing pawn to d5. From here, you capture and black has to recapture, or otherwise he is down a pawn. From here, you make the beautiful sacrifice knight takes f7. And by playing this, you're forking the queen and rook. So black has no option. He has to take your knight, and then you play queen f3 check. Now, this knight cannot block because it's pinned to the king like this. So black can also not block with his queen, because if he does, then you will capture the knight, and again, you're up a solid advantage. So, the only option for black is to move his king. He cannot go to g8, because after the following move sequence, it's going to be a checkmate. So again, if you go back, just like this, then the black king also cannot go to g6, e7, or e8 in this position. Because if he does, then you'll capture his knight on d5, and again, you're at a solid advantage. So his only option is to go to e6. This is the best move for black. So from here, you're going to play knight to c3, putting additional pressure on the d5 knight. So from here, black has two options to support his knight. He can either play knight to b4, or he can play knight e7. We're going to show you all the tricks and traps that exist in these two lines. Okay, so let's start with knight to b4. By playing this, not only is he supporting his knight on d5, but he's also threatening to go to c7, c2, to fork the rook and king. From now, you should play a3, attacking the knight. Now, you must be wondering, why are we playing this move? The logic is, even if black captures, and then he takes a rook, then the rook is not active, so it's not important. So a3 is a very good move considering the situation of the game. Okay, so from now you're gonna play knight takes d5, and now you are threatening to play knight c7, forking the king and rook. Now, black has to do something about it, so he has to play king d6. From here, you play d4, attacking the pawn on e5. If black captures, just like this, then you play bishop f4 check. And as soon as black moves, again, you're double attacking the c7 pawn. And this would be a very bad position for black. So what other option does he have? Well, he can't take the pawn But let's say he plays something like bishop to e6. Then from here you play rook e1. And from here, as you can see, you're double attacking the pawn on e5. So after this, you can just completely demolish your opponent by all the major pieces you have. Okay, so that was this variation. Now let's see the second variation. Okay, so we discussed the possibility of knight to b4. Now what happens if he plays knight to e7? He's also supporting his knight, and he also has the option of playing c6 to further support his knight. But if you see, by playing this, he's cramped up his queen and bishop. So you can take advantage of this by playing d4. Now black cannot capture, because if he does, then you capture his knight, he recaptures, and after this, and after queen e4 check, you can take the knight and win the game easily. So that's not a good option. So going back, he has to play something else. c6 is going to be the best move for him, because now he is strengthening his knight on d5. From here, you're going to play bishop g5, pinning this knight to the queen. The knight on d5 is already pinned, and now you're pinning its defender knight to threaten the queen. So black may try to remove your bishop, playing h6. From here, you take the knight, and the bishop takes back. Okay, so from here, you can long castle, and now this would be a really attacking position for your rook. And if you can see, these are just some basic moves that you need to memorize in the Fred Lever attack. As you can see, you have so many active pieces. You have your knight, your bishop, your queen, and your rook. And plus, this king is out in the open, so you can easily win this game. Okay, so there's one more variation, but since it's highly unlikely, and it's a good one, let's discuss it quickly. What happens if black plays knight to a5? The idea is to threaten the bishop and to get it off this long diagonal to release some tension. But after that, you can play bishop b5 check. For black, bishop d7 is not a good option, because after queen e2, if black captures, then the queen can capture, and now she's also forking the king and knight. So that's not a good option. So the only good option is to block with the pawn. After that, this pawn captures, and then the pawn recaptures. And after queen to f3, as you can see, the pawn cannot take, because if it does, then the rook is gonna be gone. Well, so that was the Fred Lever attack. Well, if you like this video, then like, share, subscribe, and as I always say, hit this notification bell so you know when our videos come. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye. If you're absolutely new to chess, then you can watch my basic intro video that's on your left. In the middle, there's a subscribe button. You can click on it and subscribe to my channel. And on the right is a video that is best for you.